Hey, Brooks in the Morning Rush on 98.7 KISS Country.
It's 8:38, and we have no school today at all. I don't think there's anything. Well, we're open here, Sybil, but you're not here. How come?
Well, I live over at the lake, and I didn't go over to Mason City this morning, and I thought, well, maybe it'll clear up, but it's not going to clear up.
People have been saying that it is bad in town. When I came to work this morning, nothing was going on. It looks to me on top of the snow on top of my Jeep, it looks like 4 inches. I don't know what the official amount is, but there's a lot of snow out there.
Yeah, I looked this morning and nothing was even happening. And then so I was getting ready to come over to see you. And then 20 minutes later, I look outside and it's just almost like a whiteout condition. And, I could probably still get to Mason City at that point. But the thing is, nothing is getting better. And I hate getting stuck in Mason City and trying to get back home then. Right. So I'm phoning it in to you today.
There you go. We got the video. It's on our YouTube channel, 98.7 KISS Country, if you want to go check that out. And you can watch it later on as well, or share it and put it on your social media. Would you do that when we did that?
Yes, I do. And I shout out to Dr. Bruce and the gang at Garner Vet Clinic and Garner Pet and Wash Resort.
Yeah. I haven't
seen sponsoring our segment.
I have not seen him forever.
Well, you're not over in that neck of woods anymore. You used to live in that area and you'd see him more often, but now,
Yeah. So drive careful out there, people. Don't use your cruise control. Leave early. Call if you have an appointment, whether it's a doctor's appointment, a hair appointment. Those can wait another day or two.
For sure. And that brings me to our hours at the shelter.
Yes.
We are, like most everybody else today, we will be closed this afternoon or today. We do have all of our in-town staff is at the shelter taking care of the animals, answering phone calls, some messages if they can. But first priority is always taking care of the animals and then snow removal, which is a lot of work for the shelter staff because we've got all these individual kennels and the sidewalks. And so, applause for them for being there today and taking care of the animals while, the weather's not so great out. And, it's nice and toasty and warm in the shelter. So the animals and the staff, they will certainly have the whole day to be cozy and maybe get a few extra treats and have some fun at the shelter today.
Yeah, I bet you have a couple of animals that probably just love playing in the snow.
Oh, yes. We have several dogs that love this kind of weather that, I usually give not on a day like today, well, although it is getting colder. I usually give a talk about, if you see an animal that you think has been left out in the cold for too long or is struggling with weather, either hot or cold, call law enforcement for help and advice and guidance. But there's some breed of dogs that, man, no matter how cold it gets, it doesn't matter. You can't get them to come inside. And we've got a couple of German Shepherds like that right now that they just want to stay out and play and hang out in the snow and have a lot of fun. But, I did want to talk about a particular animal today that is, really segues into the weather today.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kitty cat, and his name is Winter because,
sweet.
We're still in winter.
Yeah. Wow.
You're like,
a kitty cat lets you get wet.
Well, kitty cat does not go outside, especially Winter. So Winter is a tabby cat who's got a beautiful, perfectly round face with big round eyes. And he came, he came to the shelter when he was about 6 months old. And now he's been there for over a year. So he spent more than half of his life in the shelter waiting to be adopted. He gets along with other kitty cats just fine. He's a little shy. So people that come in and say, hey, I'm looking for a lap kitty who's going to, run up to me. Winter's not really that kind of kitty. He comes to you on his own terms. But outside of the shelter, he may become, a shadow cat who follows you all over the place and wants to cuddle. But we just don't really know for sure what kind of kitty cat he'd be in your home. In the shelter, like I said, he's a little bit quieter in his kennel area, likes other kitty cats, does not like dogs, though, is not a fan. So he would prefer a home without dogs as they cause him some stress. But his name is Winter. He's a beautiful brown tabby. His adoption fee is only $50, and that's been reduced to help him find his forever home. He's been at our shelter the longest of all of our cats. And so if you go to our website, which is hsni.org, HSNI is in Humane Society, North Iowa.org, and click on our cat listing, he's the first one on the list.
Well, excellent. You can always do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then call and get an appointment made and everything else. Normally you'd be open till how late today?
So normally we're open Tuesday through Friday from noon to 4. And then we are open by appointment on Saturdays from 10 to noon or 10 to 2. But we reserve that space for adoptions because we have a lot of people that come from out of town to do their adoptions on Saturdays. And we have limited staff still. But, like you said, our website's open 24 hours. You can apply online. You can apply. The application is on our website under forms. And you can apply for any animal or just put unsure if you're not sure, just to get the ball rolling. It doesn't fully commit you to anybody or anything. It just kind of gets that process started if you're thinking about adding a furry friend to your family.
Excellent. Do that. I'd say normally do that today, but hold off for a day or two because they're closed today. So.
Well, I mean, if you're stuck at home today too, though, what better way to spend some time and cruising through our website? And, if you find somebody, go ahead and submit that app. We may not get to it today if staff is busy with the animals, but we'll get to it tomorrow. We'll be in touch. But, you could always, we have a lot of really cute pictures and videos on our webpage. We also have a volunteer that, man, she writes individual poems for all of the dogs. And you should go check this out because they're pretty creative. She brings them each a gift and a card. And in the card, she writes a specialized poem that's really, kind of written for each individual dog.
Right.
It's pretty darn cute. I encourage people to go check it out. They're nice little poems.
The Shelter Scoop brought to you by the Garner Vet Clinic and the Garner Pet Resort and Wash for the Humane Society of North Iowa. Been serving North Iowa since 1959. Wow, that's a long time. So,
well, yeah, I wasn't around from the get-go, but I just celebrated 15 years there this week.
Oh, there you go.
Or last week.
Yeah. Well, Sybil, stay home, stay warm, get under that blanket, cuddle with the kitties or whatever you do, and then we'll talk to you next week. All right?
Sounds great. Stay safe out there, everybody.
Hi, this is Angela from Midwest Construction. Here's what one of our